All right, people, we are live. Looks all good to me over here on this side. Hopefully, the sound's coming through. I see it looks good on my side, so everything is looking good. So let's rock and roll with this, man. I hope you guys are having a good morning. It's off to an early start. A little chilly out there, man. I don't know if you guys have been outside, but definitely a little change of pace from what we've seen for the last several weeks, several months. So for all you guys that love fall and the cooler weather, I think this is a little temporary taste, but it's nice, man. I like it. I like it. All right, so today what we're going to do is we're going to start jumping into how I utilize certain tools and start our week or get ready for our week next week, going into a lot of this stuff and explaining how it all works, how I use it, why I use what I use, and so forth. And like I said, what I personally use is just what I have vetted out and I like. There's tons of apps. There's tons of opportunities or options out there. So what I necessarily use, you might find something better. And if you find something better, put it in a group, because stuff's constantly changing. There's so much technology out there. So if you found something better that works, put it out there. And I'm not opposed to changing. If something's better, move up, man. I mean, it's just all about getting better. And that's this whole social media thing is you're constantly learning, you're constantly improving your game, and you can't just sit still. I mean, if you sit still, you're gonna get stagnant, and things are gonna pass you by. And if you stay closed minded to stuff, and you don't look at other options, then you're gonna get passed by as well. So turn the volume down on this one over here. So with that said, I want to jump in real quick. We're gonna have a little bit of a challenge today. Every day's gonna have a challenge. This one's gonna be a little bit easier. Right, it should be a little bit easier, I would think, for most of you. It's basically just explain, something that's misunderstood, in the industry, because a lot of times we are quick to get frustrated that clients don't understand something, or they're like complaining about this or complaining about that, but we never do nothing about it. We just sit there and complain about it amongst ourselves. And it's like, oh man, I had this client that did this, or, title company did this, or the mortgage lender did this. It's just like, shoot a video, talk about it. Let's go out there and proactively try to help them fix or correct the problems. Some problems we can't fix. They're industry-wide problems. They are what they are, but at the same time, you can still address them. One of the things that I don't like is the fact that we have to use certain systems, and some of those systems are not exactly very customer oriented. So the interface with a client isn't the best, but at the same time, some of it's mandated. Things we have to do the way we have to do it, and it's not an option. But the option I have, or the way I can address it, is to explain that to a client and tell them up front, okay, this is what you can expect here. This is how this works. Okay, now here's what you need to understand about this part, and I just walk them through it so that they know. And they know it's not something that we're doing, or you're doing, or the title company's doing, or anybody's doing. It's just, these are the cards we're dealt, and this is the framework we have to work within. And with being so highly regulated by the government and so forth on our side, then it helps a lot, or I've found it helps a lot to explain something. And then there's so many misconceived ideas out there about our industry as a whole. You're going to see a video this week that I'm going to put out about what you guys do as realtors. And a lot of people think you guys just show up, put a sign in the yard, collect a check, and you bolt. No, they have no freaking idea. There's a list of like 200 things that you guys are working on behind the scenes that these borrowers don't want to have anything to do with. I mean, from negotiating with, the listing side about repairs, to setting up the appraisals, to help them with home inspections, to help them with all the title work stuff, all the paperwork. I mean, there's a slew of things you guys do, not to mention the research behind the scenes to figure out what to do, what not to do as far as price, communicating with all the agents that call. I mean, there's so much stuff that they don't take into account, and they just don't see. And because they don't see it, they don't know. So they think y'all's job is so easy. So stuff like that, I can easily put that out. You guys can put that out as well. If you want to piggyback off what I put out, I mean, all means share it. But that's what I'm talking about, is something that's misunderstood in the industry. Days on market, sellers market, buyers market. Why home, even though the sales are dropping, doesn't mean the home prices are necessarily dropping as well. I mean, there's so many things that you guys can address. And this is another reason why I'm saying there's content everywhere. Tons of content. And again, if it's something, let's say it's a subject that a fellow realtor's already beat you to the punch on, they've already posted it. Who cares? That you're hoping, or you should be hoping, that your clients are not necessarily listening to that other realtor as well. They're listening to you. But if they are, then you need to get the message out. That's another reason why you got to get the message out. Because if that client is listening to multiple realtors, and both of you guys are, let's say it's 3 of you, and 2 of them are getting a message out, but you're not putting a message out, who do you think the client's going to call when it's time to do something? Probably the ones that are putting the message out and they're staying top of mind with. So put your message out. They want to hear it from you. They don't care, necessarily what the other agents are saying. If they're your people, they want to hear what you've got to say. They want to hear what your opinion is on it. They want to understand what you are thinking about it. So get your message out. If it's important, like I said before, you can't say it enough. And if you can't assume somebody has saw your previous message either. So constantly send out the important stuff. I don't send it out back to back every day, but I mean every other week, or change it up some. Change the appearance, change the messaging. Not change the message, but you should change the delivery. But the message itself still the same. And you can just sit there and cycle it. And the cool thing about video content like this is once you build a catalog or a history of all this stuff, you can go back and constantly bring it back and recycle it. It's like the video I used at the recent event up at the Sumner County Association. That was over 10 years ago. 10 years ago. Completely relevant today. And it's really relevant every day, but it was really relevant in this current market. So you can constantly use and recycle your material, and you constantly are just able to pull from a wealth of content as you do this, and you continue to do this more. It just gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier. So that's that. So record a video on something that's misunderstood in the industry and post it. And if you have any doubt, go to a ChatGPT. Say, ChatGPT, I'm a realtor. I'm looking for the top 10 or top 20 most confused, most misunderstood ideas that's in my industry or in the real estate industry. It's going to give you a slew of crap. And you can tell it to give you some more. And then you can tell it to tweak it and change it. And it's going to give you tons of stuff. So if you're having a hard time getting the juices flowing on all the topics, just go there. It's going to give you 20 topics you can work with. And you can start going from there. And I assure you, there's going to be things that you didn't think of that it's going to tell you, which is the beauty of ChatGPT. So with that being said, let me go to, let's move to tech. This is where I really love. This is the part I like. Let me see. Let me clear a few things out here. I want to go back to showing you guys some of the basic things that I do with that Snagit tool, because that Snagit tool is way more powerful than what I just showed you guys yesterday. It has the ability, and I'm sure there's something on in an app somewhere. I just haven't found an app that I like on the phone that does this as effectively as Snagit does. So here is, let me switch this over. Present, share, entire window. Check the chat bot. Okay, good there. Okay. All right, that's streaming. That looks good. Okay. So then here is a video, our second day video. And when I did the thumbnail down here, I uploaded it. You can see that it didn't fill the box all the way. So that's a sizing issue. So at that point, this is why I put all of these out here in the bottom. Actually, I probably need to put these yeah, I did put them in a folder. All the sizes. That way you can come right here and figure out really quickly, what's this? What's that? What size does this need to be? What's the pixels on that? What's the ratio? Instead of having to go out and Google it every time, that's what this is here for. And in this case, and I don't try to remember all of them. I remember most of them, but I don't remember all of them. But the YouTube one, that for the thumbnail, it needs to be 1280 by 720. Well, the beautiful thing about this is we can take this exact image and we can go back to Snagit. Let me get it launched. In this case, I'm going to go to my Snagit editor. Let's see if I still have day 2 in here. This is another cool thing I love about Snagit is it keeps a library for you. And you can go back, and its most recent stuff's down here in the bottom. And if you need to go back further, like in this case, it's only going back to day 3. I can click on the library either there, or there's a way to access it up here. And then I can go back to find it. So like here's day 2. So now when I click on it, it's selected. Now down here, you can see it's showing 11:45 by 6:41. Well, if we go back to, let me make sure it's still streaming right over here. My other computer went into sleep mode. Come on. Here we go. Now it doesn't want to wake up. Make sure we're still streaming okay. Yes, you guys are still seeing that. So now what we can do is we come back over here and we double check our video size. Make sure that's swapping right. Yep, there it goes. So now, actually not the video size. Here's not where I want to go. I want to go to Facebook. So we need to make sure it's 1280 by 720. So we come back down here to Snagit and we simply hit here 1280 by 720. And now what it did is it just proportionally stretched it, or it will compact it, and it'll keep all the ratios, and you can still see it's still clear. It's not all stretched. It's not all pixelated. It doesn't look warped. Like if you sat there and clicked it and dragged it or whatever, it's just a perfect reduction or expansion. And then I hit apply. And then what it's going to do is save that, because if you don't apply this down here, as soon as you click off of it, it's going to go back to what it was. And then sometimes this is locked, so you have to unlock this. Otherwise, it won't let you type it in there. But in this case, it all worked. So I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to go to my desktop folder. And we're going to change this to day 2. Save. And now we're going to come back to YouTube, where that video is. Actually, StreamYard, that's the wrong one. Right here, here. Now I'm going to come down here and change this out. I can go back to my photo where it's at, day 2, and boom, see the difference? This is what it looked like, and this is what it's now going to look like. Now hit save, boom, instantly fixed. Instantly fixed. And it's all proportionally done as well. So when you're going out and grabbing things online, like I like to go, like here's a presentation that we were showing where we're showing a buy now versus waiting with appreciation of just 4%. This house would be well, we changed the numbers in this now that I'm thinking about it. So this actually needs to be 580 because we were changing it from 4% to 8%. But this at 4% is 520. But ultimately, what's happening is we're showing what's happened as you go forward in time. And we'll just change this out all the way real quick while we're here. So this would go to so this would go to 40 times. This value would be 583,200. And then this one would be okay. All right, so these should update. Am I not on the right one? You know what? We'll just tell it to reproduce it, put it out there so we'll know we got the right one. All right. Come on, computer, keep up. No, not you, computer. Computer, go home. Um, computer, go home. Dang, techno. Not supported on this device. Computer, stop streaming. How about that? That's crazy, man. All right, so why is this not updating? 5. Oh, that was a little bit too big of a number there. 583, 200. There's that. Next. I just did that in the wrong one. Crap. Gotta love that. 540. What I'm doing here is we're building out, this model is building out, just showing somebody if they bought a place or if they waited to buy a place, what appreciation would do against them as far as increasing their down payment requirements and time, how that looks. And when people are sitting here thinking, okay, I'm just going to wait until the prices come down. Well, wait until prices come down wait until rates come down, that isn't necessarily going to work in your favor, because when you go through and run these numbers, then it ends up costing you more money down the road. You need more down payment. And why is this not updating all of a sudden? That is weird. Normally it's a dynamic update. I wonder if it's because I left this thing open last night. Let's sign out of it real quick, sign right back in. Again, you gotta love live stuff, man. It's always something. All right, so it's 5. For some reason, it's not saving. That's weird. Normally it's saving dynamically. I'm wondering if something's up with the system, because normally that changes dynamically. Well, nevertheless, we'll change this back down, see if that'll work for us. But if not, then we'll just snag the stuff and you'll get the ideas. So yeah, there's something up with the system, because normally this changes dynamically instantly, and it's not. So but the point of the matter is here I could come in here with the Snagit tool, and I could either take this as a whole, and you can use a hotkey. And mine, you can adjust to whatever you want. Mine's Alt A. So Alt A will bring up this crosshair. And then again, I like the way you can sit here and you can see how close you can get to the edge, and you can have the same margin all the way across. Again, that's the OCD part of me. You don't have to be that perfect with it, but then you can come all the way over here to this side of it and see how, as far as you want to get, how close you want to get. But you can take all of that, and now it moved up to this other bar. It's telling you can take a picture of it, you can take a video of it, you can do a panoramic, but this is the size you're working with right now, which is good to know what you're starting with from a baseline when you're going to reduce or increase your image. So here I'm just going to snag it, and now I need to take this down to, if I'm putting it into a YouTube, then I know that I need to be 1280 by 720. And there, and I apply it. Now when it says it's going to flatten all objects, basically if there's anything layered in there, it's just going to make it all one big thing. So once you do this, the flattening, you can't adjust anything in here. So if I came in here and drew some arrows and stuff like that, once I flatten it, I can't go back and edit it unless I go back to the original document. So it's like saving something and not being able to edit it going forward unless you go back to the original one. And let's just do that real quick. So let's say I wanted to draw an arrow to this, or I wanted to put a circle around that. Or like, here's another cool thing I like about image. You can take and do the image around this. So here you can see I just put a big thick border. Well, if I want to change the way that border looks, I can come over here, put an edge on it, and instantly now you've got a tear edge across the bottom. I mean, you can just do so many things with it. There's these templates here. You can get it to where it fades out. I mean, there's so many things you can do with this so quickly. And that's why I love this tool. But let's say this is what we're going to work with. So now I want to go back here again, and I want to flatten it out. So we're going to go 1080 by 720. Now I apply it. Once I apply it, now this is one solid piece. Notice how my mouse is still in there. I can't tweak it. I can't adjust it. I can't grab any of this. It's now one solid item that I can't adjust anymore. But what I wanted ultimately was this to be resized proportionally so it fits what I'm wanting to work with. And I do the same for um, social media. And now I can take that and compact it in even further. Now, that is a little bit more scrunched up because I'm starting with such a big piece of material. Um, because when we go back and you look at the original snag, if you go back, let's go back here, get rid of this, and let's snag another one. Remember when I said it's important to know what you're working with when you start? Well, we're taking it from 10 or 1888 down to 907. We're basically effectively taking this width and chopping it in half. So you're going to get that squeeze effect because you're starting with something twice as wide and you're squeezing it to the half the original width. And that's why you're getting a little bit of the scrunched effect. But in some cases, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? In some cases, like this, you've got no option. But at the same time, it's still legible. It's still legible. But what I would do differently in this is I would come back over here and I would change this view in this particular case. And I would come back in here, set my edges where I want them. Now I've got that snagged. Now I'm working with a 911 versus an 825. That's going to be very, very easy to stretch to 1080 by 1080, which is the square you need to go onto Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or any of that stuff. So I'm going to capture that. And then I can come back over here, change it from a 1080 or change it to a 1080, 1080. Boom, apply, flatten. It's one solid object. Now everything is there perfect to where I can easily upload that right into Instagram or right into TikTok or whatever. And then I will take these, and you're going to see this because you're going to see a lot of these come out this week because I've been delaying the release of these videos where we talk about how to move a buyer up, why the date the rate and buy the house works. These are coming out because I could not find a good effective app on a phone that did this in a proportionate way that was quick and easy and it looked right. And I have gone out and we built this video to where this is in Camtasia, where I've done the exact same thing. I've taken these big 8x11 pieces of paper, presentation wide that are on landscape, and I've compacted them in to these charts, these smaller charts. So this particular slide started out as this. So I snagged this, and then I'll just show you. Set my edges. Now, granted, this one, it's going to have this stuff in here, and normally it wouldn't, but for illustration purposes, this is what we're doing. And again, it's telling me I'm starting off with a 1760 by 987. So again, I know I'm starting off much wider than what where my final product's going to be. But the closer you are to your starting, or the closer your starting point is to where you're trying to go, the more proportionally it's going to look. So I know that I'm starting off with something that's twice as wide. So I know it's going to look a little scrunched, but at the same time, it looks okay and it looks legible. And I haven't found a better way to do it. But if you know a better way to do it and you want to share it, by all means, hit me up. So there it is. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I did that for YouTube. I need to put 1080 by 1080. There's your square. That's still very, very, very legible and easy to read. And now it's perfectly sized for social media content. That quick. that quick. And then if you want to go out and take, like, here is, let me go over here. My computer went to sleep again. I'm going to take the sleep mode off of it. Make sure you guys can still see what I'm about to do. Come on. Yep. So this is a Black Knight report. And I love these reports. I mean, it's tons of great data. But it's get it to play here. I don't know if you guys are getting that same volume or not. But what I can do now, I'm gonna take that volume down. I can do the same thing. I can come in here and I can set my margin, and I can tell it I want to record a video. Now I can either have it, there's a black circle down here where my camera is going to record me and I can talk as I'm describing it, but I'm going to turn that off. I can unmute my microphone here. So if I was talking, I would want that off so they would record it. But in this case, I want to capture the audio that's coming across from the video. So now it's going to do a countdown and now it's recording. So this is how you can go out and grab any kind of specific piece of media and then import it into what you're working with and manipulate the way you want to manipulate it. You can also take this kind of stuff and pull the images over, then start doing your magic eraser stuff too, which I'm going to show more later next week. So you can remove an object. Let's say we want to get rid of this mortgage monitor. We wouldn't want to because we want to keep the branding and the sourcing in here for obviously the copyrights and stuff like that to give them credit for the material. But if we wanted to change that mortgage monitor out, no problem. We'll just magic erase it, boom, cut it out, put a new one in there if we wanted to, or just erase it entirely. You can do whatever you want. But here now we've got 51 seconds recorded. Now it brings it over here to Snagit. Now it's a video. I mean, this is, let's see if the volume up this point. So I'm gonna come over here. This is the original video and it's now paused. So I'm gonna come over here. This is now the video that we recorded.
At lower rates in more recent years.
And there's the audio.
You see that roughly half of them, half of the equity for those loans between 4% to 4.5% is not covered by the loan.
So now you can turn around and you could, if you want the copy or cut out a piece or whatever, it's a full editor as well. So you can get rid of parts or pieces of it. You can take chunks of it out. We're not going to get into this with this today, but I can turn around and take this. Actually, I'll show you real quick. It's 8 o'clock, but let's say we want to save this. And let's just call it Black Knight and save it. If you have a video editor, you can turn right back around, bring that into your video editor and drop it into your timeline. And let's say we didn't want the audio. This is a long way to go to the audio. You just want the slides. You can just take a picture of the slides. But let's say you couldn't do that for some reason. Now you can come in here and you can separate the sound from the audio. You can get rid of the audio entirely. And now you just have literally video slides with no audio, no sound. Or you could do the exact opposite. You can pause that and go backwards and you can get rid of the video. And now you got just the audio.
You can see on the chart to the right, those interest rate bands were more.
So like that. And that part, there's tons of apps out there online. CapCut will do that. The software I use on my phone, that's a typical thing. That's no big deal. You can do that in all sorts of stuff. But I'm just showing you how much you can do just in Snagit and what Snagit allows you to do. I mean, it's such a powerful tool. It's just not a snippet, go get a screen grab kind of tool. There is so much you can do with it. And even like right here, you could take this image and download it to just a screenshot. So now you have a screenshot from this original video. is now a screenshot that quick. And then you can come in here if you want to do your editing on your image, you go to your effects, you put a border around it, you can change it, do the colors, you can do whatever you want with it. You can, I mean, you want to put a wrapping, edge on. I mean, you do whatever you want with it. You can change your perspective. This is a way you can make stuff kind of fit into screens or angles, or if you've got a funky thing you're trying to do, you can do whatever you want. So it's a really, really cool tool. That's why I like Snagit. That's why I use Snagit. I think you guys have got the picture of Snagit now. But that's an important way of how I do things, put things together, because this thing just makes it work so freaking fast. And again, same thing here. If you want to change this to where you can make it fit into a Instagram square and make it postable, there you go. Now it'll easily post right into Instagram, and you can take a collage and create a collage with it where you can have multiple slides back to back to back, and you can record the audio on each slide, and then you just stack them into your collage, and then your collage will just play. So I mean, it's cool. If you haven't done a collage, we're going to definitely do that next week, where you stack them up and you put the audio with it, because some people think that's intimidating and hard to do, but it's just building. You're doing one post, you're doing another post, and you do another post, and all you're doing is uploading together in Instagram or TikTok and putting them back to back to back. As long as you get your image sizes right, you get everything set up right, then everything else falls into place. So if you guys haven't built that, we'll show you how to do it. Go to Canva, or Canva rather. That's really, really cool. We'll touch on that, how you can build one up, and then you can take and export it out, get it sliced up where it needs to be. And now you've got your canvas pieces that you can lay your stuff on top of. So we'll talk about that more next week, because we're over time already. But I hope you guys got a lot out of this and understand the power of Snagit. Let's see. We're going to get into, we'll do Magic Eraser next week. We'll do the edge out tool, the cutout tools, so you can take and lift things, put things in, AI replacement pieces. So you can literally go grab and say, hey, get that banana out of the picture, but put a bowl of lemons there. Boom, done. Green screen. We're going to get into green screen. We're getting into more of what I actually use. And green screen wise, you can see here. Let me move around. Let me stop screening this. You can see that I don't have my green screen down, but you can see it's up there at the top, the very, very top. There, you can see it wrapping around. I have it to where it'll drop down, and then I can put my lights on. But I'm gonna show the rest of the stuff that I use, how I use it, why I use it, and equipment wise, and just give you the methodology behind it, why I do what I do, how I do it, and you can take and use it however you want to use it. And then, like I said, if you got a better idea with something, share it. I mean, we're constantly always learning. So that's it, people. You guys have a great weekend. We'll be here tomorrow. We're going to get in some more of this stuff tomorrow. And like I said, next week, it's just going to be tech, and how we use things. Tomorrow, I'm going to go into more green screen stuff. I'm going to show a green screen that I have behind my chair, how to utilize it with Instagram to tighten up your edges. And then I'm going to get into some lighting tomorrow. And that's it. Go have a great Saturday. We'll see you guys tomorrow.